Howdy, who all my stock market gamblers? Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. So glad you're here. What do we got going on? Well, we got the markets, right? We're at those record highs and they're going to push it higher. Now, I do expect a pullback. So far, it's pretty much been straight up since April, right? No pullback, no pullbacks necessary. We can just go higher, right? We're just going to continue up. Now, maybe it goes that way. My take is we're going to get a little bit of a pullback and then we'll push it up even higher because we're just going to keep that money printer rolling, right? That's the system. We're a debt-based system. We need more debt. We need to print more money. It goes into the stock market and we go higher. My advice would be to get a little bit of dry powder ready, for when the pullback does happen. I do think there's going to be a pullback, but I do think we'll continue to push it up higher. Now, what I want to talk a little bit about is, well, I want to talk about how the whole financial system has now completely changed. It's completely different than it was just last week. I mean, I know a lot of people are not aware of this because we got other things to watch, like the Epstein files. Where's the Epstein tapes? They kind of pushed this bill through and they kind of just slid it in there without us really hearing that much about it. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Genius Act again. Now, the Genius Act, what it allows is it allows private corporations to print money. Now, you think that's insane. You think that's shocking. I think our founding fathers are rolling over in the grave, right? But the Donald is signed into legal. It's now legal. It's a Genius Act, right? That corporations now have the power to print money in the form of stable coins, right? It's not paper money, but it's stable coins, right? Stable coins are now money. Oh, he signed it into law. Believe me, they're not money. They're not currency. They're worse than a central bank digital currency. The Donald, he said he would never, ever get a central bank digital currency signed into office, right? I mean, he said he just outlawed. Well, he gave us something much worse. He gave us the bill from hell, if you will. Now, check this out. The financial system is going to be going to a stable coin, a tokenized system, right? And this is by private corporations. Private corporations are now going to control the money, not Congress, not our government. Private corporations are going to be sanctioned by the Federal Reserve because the Federal Reserve wants the stable coins to buy the bonds, right? Now, I get that we need to kick the can farther and farther down the road, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do a stable coins, which is a crypto, right? Backed by a fiat, which is our bond market, the dollar system, as you will, backed by debt. So crypto backed by debt is going to save us, America. Now, I'm not completely against this because I know the downfall of America is going to happen much faster. And once it happens, then we'll reset and rebuild America. I still believe in America. A lot of opportunity coming. But right now, they're just fleecing us. They're selling us down the river without even people noticing. Nobody cares. If they cared, they'd be out there rioting in the streets. But they don't care that we just handed our financial money system to private corporations sanctioned by the Fed with no government oversight, no Congress oversight, no Senate oversight, no oversight whatsoever. And me and you, nothing we can do. We don't have a voice in the system anymore. The system has run amok. It's gone a completely different direction. They signed the bill. It went through, just barely passed. The first time they voted, it failed, and then it just barely passed. Why? Well, they got the Epstein file. Everybody didn't vote, said we're going to release it with your name in it. That's just my take. I don't know that to be true, but that's how I think they got this bill through, right? Now, I'm tired of us being a banana republic. There's no different from us in a banana republic, except for the bananas. Maybe we don't have a lot of them grown in the U.S., but we are a banana republic with this bill going through. It's worse than a central bank digital currency. Okay, so this is the new form of money. Now, here's the thing. Why did Donald Trump want this bill to go through so badly? Why do you want it to go through? Well, he owns the stablecoin market, right? Him and his two sons, Eric and Donnie Jr., they have the stablecoin. It's called USD1. USD1 is their stablecoin. They are going to make billions probably hundreds of billions by passing this bill. You see, the president now uses his power to fund the family business of the stablecoin business. They have the corporation with USD1. The big one is Tether, right? And Circle is the other one. Circle is interesting because the Trump brothers, they're on the board of Circle, I believe, if I'm not mistaken on that. So they're very tied in to the family business of the stablecoins. And we just passed a bill which hands them the printing of all the United States money. They're allowed to print money now, right? Stablecoins is printing money. It's created out of thin air, and they can create as many of them as they want. There's no limit to how many they can create. And we're going to talk a little bit about this. So the Donald is going to make, well, he's going to make hundreds of billions of dollars on his bill that he just passed, right? And it's better than that. It's better than that. It gets better than that, right? Okay, so the bill excludes any member of Congress or any member of the Senate from starting their own stablecoin. Okay, so they're excluded because there's a conflict of interest. But it doesn't exclude the President of the United States. He already had his stablecoin in place. So when the bill passed, he's making all this money. Now, this is what I call a banana republic, right? Okay, now don't get me wrong. This is all above board what he's doing, right? When he became president, he did the Trump coin. Now, the Trump coin made him $300 million. $300 million. I mean, I don't know what the president pays right now. What did he get paid? $500,000 a year? That's not why you want to be president. You want to be president for the $300 million Trump coin. Okay, Melania coin, $180 million. That's almost $500 million just in those two coins. Now, I'm not saying that's illegal to do. He created the coins. Well, his sons did. He just, he's just the head guy. I mean, his sons created the coin and they sold them to all of the Americans, and they kind of fleeced America. It was up at like $70. Now it's down below $10. I mean, America, we lost about 80% of our money, but don't worry, the Donald, he made about $500 million. And I maybe you're okay with this. I'm kind of not okay with it, right? It's legal. It's above board. I mean, the other president, 10% for the big guy. That was kind of under the table. This one, he does it wide out in the open, right? I mean, everybody knows he's doing it. But now made his $500 million in his two coins, Trump coin, Melania coin. Now he's going to make tens of billions, $100 billion with his stable coin, right? I mean, he's outlawed the competition, right? I mean, he's getting rid of them. I mean, there's corporations, Tether, Circle, those are the corporations. Of course, Donnie's coin, USD1 is going to be his coin. Now, these things they're just dangerous. Way worse than the central bank digital currency. We'll be praying that they give us a central bank digital currency because these are way worse. They're totally programmable, right? I mean, they can sell you, let's say that you buy this stable coins, right? They put your money into the stable coins. That's what we're going to be, eventually we'll be forced to do that. But right now it's voluntarily. But anyways, this is interesting. Okay, here's a real interesting thing. There's this guy, right? Okay, anyways, let me get his name right. Sheng Pao Zhao. Anyways, I can't say that right? Okay, so he's a convicted felon, but he was up on these other charges, right? Well, here's what happened. He bought $2 billion of the Donald stablecoin. $2 billion of the Donald stablecoins. And guess what? The charges were dropped. You know what else he's going for? He's going for a presidential pardon, $2 billion. Look I was upset when Biden, weaponized the justice system to go after his political opponents. I was upset with that, but now you can buy justice, right? You got $2 billion. You can get your felonies expunged, right? We can get them wiped off. We can get all charges dropped against you. And I mean, $2 billion, this guy's nothing, right? I mean, that's like a parking ticket to me and you, but you can now buy the justice system. I don't know. Or leave me a comment if you're okay with that. If you're okay with that, that's fine. I mean, okay. Well, and the other thing, all right, let's go back to the Trump coin. I'm not bashing maybe I am a little bit. I just don't want to be in part of a banana republic. I'm tired of the government selling us down the river, right? I mean, look crypto may be the savior for everybody else. For me, I'm going with the real money. I'm opting out of the system. Look at, I'm an old guy. I'm going to be fine. I got plenty. My family has plenty. We have plenty, right? We do not need more. We are in the real money. That's where we're in. That's what we got. That's what we believe in. Now, the Donald, he believes in this crypto stuff because it's unlimited, right? $2 billion that guy put into his stable coin. Now he gets to collect the interest on that $2 billion. Because remember, the stable coins have to be backed by the bond. Now who gets that? Well, the Donald gets the $2 billion. So that's at 5% interest. He gets $100 million a year on just this one person's investment to buy a presidential pardon and to have the charges dropped. Now, is that using the presidency in the wrong way? I'm going to say that it is. Maybe you agree that the Donald's doing a great job, and some things he is. I'm not knocking that. Some things he's not. The Fleecing of America, the Banana Republic stuff, I do not like it, right? Maybe you're okay with it. But okay, here's the other guy. Here's the other guy, Justin Sun. Let's talk about him. He's another crypto billionaire. All these are crypto billionaires, right? Okay, because they now team up with the Donald. They team up with Donnie Jr. They team up with Eric Trump. The crypto billionaires, they're all interlocked now with the president. They're running the government. It's kind of sad. But here's this other guy, Justin Sun, right? Okay, so he's up for security fraud charges, right? Security fraud charges. Well, guess what he did? He bought $2 million of the Trump meme coin. The charges were dropped. Very fascinating. Okay, what else happened? Well, Eric Trump got this big deal because, this Justin Sun, he's taking a company public and he needed financing. So he goes to Eric Trump, goes, hey, I'll pay you a heck of a lot of money to get me the financing, and all my charges for securities fraud went away. Can the justice system really be bought like this? I mean, to me, it's just Banana Republic. It's getting pathetic. Yeah, of course, Donald's sons, they're already billionaires, probably multi-billionaires by the time he gets out. I mean, he's only been in there 6 months. I mean, he's made $500 million, and now he just passed the stable coin where he's going to make tens of billions, hundreds of billions. But handing off our financial system, the printing of money, the private corporations sanctioned by the Federal Reserve. Now, the Federal Reserve, okay, you got the private corporation. The Federal Reserve is a semi-private corporation. They're not part of our government. They never have been. They should be abolished. They should be done away with. But this stuff that's going on is just, it kind of sickens me to see our country going in this direction. But let's get back to the stable coins. Okay, a stable coin now, it's totally programmable, right? So if they don't like you, if you voted for the wrong party, they can turn your money off. Isn't that interesting? Your money can expire. Let's say you don't spend it in time. You don't spend the money within 6 months, it can expire. It's totally trackable. They know everywhere you spent. Every cent you spent, they know where it's at. I like my money private. I like it anonymous. That's why I go into the real money. And that's where I think you got to head to. I think you got to get into the real money, into the gold and silver. But this private corporation stuff now taking over the printing of money. I mean, okay, picture this. Picture Amazon now. They're going to want their own stable coin when they want it, right? I mean, it makes things simple for them. Shouldn't they be allowed to print the money? What about Google? Maybe Google should have a stable coin. No, we can't have it. You see, big tech, according to this Genius Act, they're not allowed to have it. They cannot compete with the Donald's USD1 coin, which goes to his family, right? All that family money funneling in. I mean, at some point, he's only been in 6 months and he's already made billions of dollars. I don't get this. When I was younger, what presidents did, they go and become the president. They'd serve. And after they got done serving, they go on the speaker tour. That's how they made their millions, right? After they're out of office, they go on their speaker tour and they'd speak all around the country and they get paid a handsome sum. And I was in favor of that, right? But this, while you're in office, using your power to pass the Genius Act so that your sons can run the stablecoin company that now is going to be printing the money for the United States of America, our forefathers others, man. They are rolling over in their graves. I mean, it's just pathetic in my opinion. It kind of upsets me. Actually, it upsets me quite a bit. That's why I'm talking to you. If I talk to my friends, well, a lot of them are in favor of this. They think it's the way we're going to kick the can down the road. They think this is a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing. I think this is worse than the central bank digital currency. The central bank digital currency at least was government run. This is private corporations run. Private corporations sanctioned by the Fed. I mean, this is right out of hell in my opinion. Maybe your take completely different than me. I'm sorry to rant on a Monday. I just got to get this off my shoulders, off my chest. This is bothering me. It's wrong. It's completely wrong. Leave me a comment if you think it's right. Anyways, I'm Tall Mike. Give me the thumbs up. Punch the subscribe button. Get out there, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.